My friends, I've been using Guyker parts for a pretty good while. They make some really good stuff. This roller bridge on my Troublemaker Telecaster is a Guyker. And I'm gonna do this video, which is sponsored by them. They're not paying me, but they did provide me some tuners, some locking tuners. This has vintage style tuners on. I'm not sure if I'll have to do any alterations on this headstock. In other words, to make these work. If I don't put it on this Troublemaker Telecaster, then I might put it on the T380 from Eart that I've got. I think it'd be a great addition to either one of these guitars. Either one of those guitars both have good tuners on them already, but I really like locking tuners just to make it easier to change the strings. So this is what it looks like when it ships to you. It came in a pack and was just put in my mailbox. So let's open it up and take a look at what these look like. And so when you take them out of the pack, this is what they look like. Machine heads, it says for electric and acoustic guitars. And you just flip them over, there you go. Look like really nice locking tuners. Everything so far that I've gotten from Guyker has been really good. I've used string trees, I've used nuts, I've used, again, bridges and stuff like that. All their parts have been nice. I've just not used their locking tuners yet. I usually use hip shots or Fender tuners, since it's mostly Fender guitars that I play, or hip shots on the Gibson type guitars or ES type guitars. And I will say these are certainly handsome things. Look at that, it says professional. Those are the professional grade. I'm not exactly sure what the model is. I'll double check. Didn't see it on the box, but man, those look nice. It does have the double post thing. I'm not sure how the back of this neck is drilled. Like I say, I'll either put this on the Troublemaker Telly or I'll put it on the T380. One or the other of those should work really well. So we'll say that this is interesting. They have little numbers on the back of them. 4 of them say R1, one says R2, and one says R3. And I wondered, did that mean they're staggered in any way? Well, there's an R1 beside an R3, and I've kind of eyeballed it. I can't tell a difference, so I don't know if there's any particular sequence that's supposed to be on there. The piece of wrapping of the paper did not have any instructions or anything on it. They all look honestly identical to me, the R2s, the R3s, the R1s. So I don't know that it makes a difference exactly how I put these on. Maybe we'll go to the website and check, see if there's a PDF or anything. All right, so it is as I thought. The Troublemaker Telecaster, that traditional kind of tuner on there is not drilled long. Well, I'd have to drill out the hole larger. So I'm gonna do the Eart, however you wanna say it, has a hole drilled out for a more modern style tuner. So we're going to use that one. Sort of was my first idea to do this guitar anyway. I just thought I would, since I had a Guyker bridge on the other guitar, I thought I'd just make it a kind of a total Guyker deal. But we'll go ahead and do this one, this Eart, which I think is going to be a better choice, at least for this installation. So you can see that the tuner on the Eart has one hole here. It's one of the bottom left holes, I kind of call it. But then the tuners, the locking tuners, which so many of them do, they have the 2 posts on it there, the 2 little nubs that stick out here. So what I have to do, I have to drill this to accommodate those 2 little nubs. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of go this way. Now it's going to lay on there at kind of an angle. I want to mark where I'm going to drill these 2 holes. So I like to take something like a washer or something a little thicker and put underneath that, just to get the spacing a little more accurate before I kind of tap the top of this and mark where those 2 holes are going to be drilled. So this is just a way that I do it. Not sure if other people do this as well, but to me it seems to work. Just allows for those 2 little posts down there to make a mark that I can drill from a little more accurately. So I did place that, and I tapped it with this just a little bit. You can see here where my 2 drill holes are going to be. I actually did accent it a little bit with a pencil so you guys could see it a little better. It might not have been so visible. I'm going to just use my regular DeWalt kind of drill. I got to make sure I get a drill bit that is small enough so that we don't make that hole too big. It looks like it's probably maybe only 1 millimeter or so. Settled on a drill bit that's pretty small there. It should make proper size hole for that little protrusion there, those 2 little things. Let's go ahead and drill this out right quick. I'm just going to go, maybe entirely possible that I've gotten too small a drill bit now, but let's try it. So we just need to go maybe 3 or 4 millimeters through it. There we go. Looks like it's going to be about right, I believe. And the other one right here. And that should fit, let's hope. See if I made the hole too big or too small. And I do believe I could have used the larger drill bit. Always better to be safe the first time though. So I did find the drill bit that works, and it is this one. I wish I knew what to tell you what size that is. I think it's a little more than 1 millimeter. I'll try to see if I can get my magnifying glass. I don't see a mark on it that tells though, but this one does work, so I'll be using this one going forward for the rest of the tuners. Okay, so I have put one of the bushings over the top here. Make sure I got my little thing turned the right way. Should be able just to turn that right on there. I want to just test this one first before I go to doing the others, just to make sure I have everything set up right to go to town on the other strings. That feels pretty good right there. My goodness. Nice pearly looking tuner. I think I got it on there tight enough. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. So there we go. Tuner number 1. I could actually put the original string on there. There's nothing wrong with using this string. These strings are fairly new on this. I guess I had them on there maybe a month and a half. Let's go ahead and just clip this and put it in. I clip the end off that so it's easier to go in. Loosen it up. Let's tighten up on the bottom. Okay, now we should have a tuner that works for the that looks nice. Excellent. All right. Clip that excess off. Love locking tuners, folks. Makes so much easier to do a string change. Let's get the rest of these changed out. I'm going to use for my spacer this time, I think. I'm going to use one of the bits. Let's make sure I've got that lined up just right. It looks pretty good. Okay. I try to make sure my tuner's pushed all the way down so I don't mess up the post or anything, to turn it all the way down. And I just do. Sometimes you just push really hard with your finger. It's different when you're doing this with a roasted maple neck though. It's a little harder. That gives me my mark there. I got my 2 little specks that I can see. And for the sake of those of you watching, I'll go ahead and put a little pencil mark there so we can see that better. That's good. Okay, so I've got them all installed and it went very well. Now one thing I like to do is make sure that these little screws on the ends here are tightened just a little. I don't know if this GoPro is going to be able to see it, but you've got these little screws here. I like my tuners to be sort of stiff. Other people may not like that, but I like for them to be just, you know, so they're not real loosey. So let's go out and hook this up. Let's hook this T380 up to maybe a Tone Master Deluxe reverb or something and see how they sound. See how the string sounds, how the tuning stability is rather. So I did end up going ahead and doing a complete string change on this, because when I went to tune up, I popped my E string. So these are new strings, they might be stretching out. But everything seems to be staying in tune really well. Maybe knocking it out of tune slightly with this trim here. Say, it stay in tune pretty well. Feel nice, look nice. That's the way they look, totally fully installed. The Guyker, it says, I'm going to read it, it says professional tuning machines, Guyker professional tuning machines. And that's all it says. I'm not sure exactly which model they sent me. Here again, it really didn't say on the box, so I will be in contact with them before I post this video to let you know. The installation was easy. You just had to be sure to drill your holes right. And then the string change was super easy. And the T380, the one thing, if you've never seen my review of the T380, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but the one criticism I had with it over time is that you pretty much have to take this plate off to switch the strings. You can't really look through that hole and hit it or get them off. So you have to, one of the reasons I sort of hesitated to do a restring, one was I didn't know if I had any number 9 strings, which most of my shredder guitars have 8s to 38s. I like 9 to 42s on tellies. And so I did actually find one. I think it had 10s on it before. But this plays great. Like I say, no tuning problems that I am detecting yet.